have we got here? With Dr. Dave.
I just heard from a mate of mine in Sydney who's got a special surprise for us. Would you be able to round up the kids and head up there for us?
So Stacey, what are we doing here in Sydney?
Well, Liam, Dr. Dave has sent us here to Sydney to go and learn more about the Corroboree frogs. We're heading off to Taronga Zoo. Let's go and have a look at them. The endangered Corroboree frog is so special. There is only 100 left in the wild.
So one of the main factors, well the main factor which is contributing to the decline of the Corroboree frogs is chytrid fungus. And chytrid fungus is an introduced fungus which did not originate in Australia, it originated overseas and was brought into Australia many, many years ago through sort of illegal animal trade, and unfortunately it got into the wild. So one of the quirkier facts about Corroboree frogs is how they find mates out in the wild. Most of the time out in the animal kingdom, boys are very, very lazy, not doing a lot. With Corroboree frogs, the boys are the ones that actually sit down and make the nest and try and make it look all beautiful, sit there and then call out to the girls, and the girls will walk past several different nests at a time in a day and poke their little heads in and look around. And if they're happy with the boy and the beautiful home that he's made, she might go in and be mates with him. If not, she's going to move on to the next one and the next one and the next one.
So what do they eat?
So in the wild, the Corroboree frog eats a wide variety of small insects. Again, because they are so small, the insects that they're after are minute, little mite-like creatures, tiny, tiny little insects. Here at Taronga, and many of the facilities that keep these guys, we feed them tiny little crickets, tiny little pinhead crickets. They're about the size of an ant. And the Corroboree frog will just go along as the cricket runs past, flick his tongue out and pick it up in a flash. It's so quick, sometimes you'll miss it. You won't even see it.
And you wouldn't believe it, I'm here with David Hunter and we've brought back 8 of these Corroboree frogs to Wirraminna. Oh look, there's Mr D, waiting to see what the surprise is.
You know, some of my earliest memories of looking at frogs in books were of looking at the southern Corroboree frog, and really it is an amazing looking species, and that's why it is a national icon in terms of our frog fauna. In fact, last breeding season when we do our annual monitoring, we only found 4 males left. This is a species that is seriously on the brink of extinction. Typically a male Corroboree frog isn't much more than a gram in weight and is probably only about 2 centimetres in length, so they're quite small. But they have these amazingly striking colours, this really vibrant yellow and black coloration, which as far as we know serve as warning colorations. Corroboree frogs, their primary diet are little ants, and there are toxins within those ants that the Corroboree frog accumulates and manufactures into their skin, which then makes the Corroboree frog very toxic to any potential predator, and they're advertising that fact by being brightly coloured. School children and members of the public more broadly will get a chance to understand the plight of this species and the fact that, hey, you know, there's various things that are threatening our national biodiversity, and really finding a solution all starts with people's awareness and the way people feel about protecting their biodiversity. So the education, spreading the news and being more aware about what's happening in our environment is the best way we can help ultimately protect these species.